This is new. Hello. Hi guys, I'm in my new mother Frenching apartment. I'm here, I lived, I moved. It's very different. One of the key differences is that my cats are no longer here. I feel like I've explained this 86 ways to Sunday on various social media platforms, and I still consistently get questions like, where are your cats? Where are your cats gonna be? Where are your cats? They don't live with me anymore. I'm very sad about it. They live with my mother. They are having a grand old time. They're in a much larger house with 2 people that are home all the time, instead of being in a 1-bedroom that is never cleaned with only my dumbass to take care of them. So it's a much better scenario. If you are curious about the cats, I did make them their own Instagram called shadow_Calvin that I will link in the description if you're curious. I'm in a garden level apartment and somebody just walked directly by my window, and I don't have curtains yet because I don't have a curtain rod. So she literally could have just turned her head a quarter of a centimeter and just made direct eye contact with me talking to a camera. That's great. Yeah, so if you wanna keep up with the cat, I made a little Instagram for pictures my mother sends me of them or for when I go visit them. So that exists. Should I give you like a little pan? It's very messy right now because even though I've lived here for a week, I'm not like all the way unpacked, and also I have to do laundry. So let me just like give you a little bit of a pan. Can you see it? This is where I live now. That's a wall. This is just wall. I'm not gonna show you the outer window because I might dox myself. Hi, how are ya? Gross. I feel like I'm sitting weird. What is something in the pocket of my skirt? Ravioli, ravioli, what is in the pocket-oli? Ah, it is one single AirPod. Cool. This is the first time I've attempted to film something, and right now I just have my tripod on my desk in front of me because this just makes the most sense. I have a lot more space in this room than I did at my old room. Sorry, I have a lot of options, and I haven't really made any decisions yet. Oh, also I have a spinny chair again. So that's great. So it's actually today, Saturday, been 1 exact week since I moved. The process was honestly pretty painless because my parents, my mother and my stepfather, told me a couple months ago, like, hey sis, and I was like, hey parents, and they said, we are not helping you move. And I was like, explain. You have too much stuff. It's too heavy. We are both in our 60s. We are not helping you move. But I am weak, mom there. What can I do? And eventually they were just like, you know what? We hired you movers. And I'm like, oh my God, I love being coddled. So we hired movers, and the movers were wonderful. When you live in a 1-bedroom by yourself for 2 years, you amass a lot of nonsense that you don't really keep track of because you're the only person who's responsible for your space. So if stuff gets too cluttered, you might not notice it. So I had a lot of nonsense, and I was like, okay, well, I'm moving into a 2-bedroom now, so I'm not the only person existing in the space. I need to like pare down, and pare down I did. By quite a lot, actually. I have a lot less, massively less clothing than I had before I moved, which I'm very happy about, which means I can buy more of it now. Like this skirt that I'm wearing. I bought this yesterday, my guy. I went thrifting after work, specifically looking for a denim skirt, and I actually found one. I'm gonna do something a little bit colorful, you know? Why not? It's Boston Pride today, I think. I'm home because I've been feeling rather anxious and untethered because of the move. I'm in a new space, it's very different, and I don't think I can handle like a big crowd right now. So I'm gonna just do something semi-colorful in my eyes. How about that? Are we okay with that? Are we good? Are we straight? Love that. Nope, we're not. Anyway, I'm gonna start with the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas Primer, which I am kind of lukewarm on. I know it's for cutting your crease. I use it as an all over eye primer because I like to use white primers. And so because I like them, I have a lot of experience with other cheap-ish white primers. My favorites are probably the NYX White Eyeshadow Base and the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk. I like that you don't have to pack on as many layers with them as you do with this if you want this to be like stark white. I think of the 2 I just listed, the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk is the best because it's a little less oily, I guess, a little less emulsified than the white eyeshadow base, which makes sense because it's a pencil. I was watching a Jen Loves Reviews video, and she had basically the exact same opinion about this specifically, where if you actually use this little brush tip to apply it to your eyes, you're gonna end up with just a ridiculous, nonsensical amount of primer on your eyes. So it's best to just tap it somewhere else and then apply it with some other apparatus. I'm using my fingertips because It's 2019. I'm adjusting to being a dog person. My roommate that I moved in with has a dog. Her name is Orly. She's asleep right now, but she's very sweet. And I've been like walking her when I get home from work every day. And it makes me very anxious because when she barks at other dogs, I'm just like, I'm so sorry. Because I'm used to cats who don't ever make sounds unless they're screaming at you for food. And like dogs, you know, are outside in the world with people and they can like disturb people. And I don't, you know, I'm just like too much of a fragile little egg to be in any situation that might result in people being inconvenienced by me being there. So, you know, we're getting used to it. We're absolutely getting the frick used to it, man. I feel like disappointing everyone and doing something really simple. I'm gonna go into my Tarte Let It Rainbow palette, which if you didn't watch my last video, I fused with my Tarte Remix Natural palette. So now they are one little Voltron of eyeshadow. There we are, see? They're both together. It's just, you know, Scotch tape holding these together and they haven't come undone yet. So that's fun. I'm gonna go into this pink down here, Ambitious, and do a little like, you know how eyeshadow looks. I'm gonna just, I'm like, I have to like reset all of my autopilot systems because I'm in a new environment now. It's very jarring. I really like the new apartment. It's a lot nicer than my last apartment in that it is newer. And I don't know how it is where you guys live, but in Boston, all of our buildings are like 5,000 years old. Unless a building is new, and by new I mean built within the last like 15 years or so. What they do whenever someone moves out is they sort of just paint every surface of the apartment with the same white paint again. So instead of having actual walls, you just have compacted layers of years and years and years of paint. Obviously everything is put together very well. It's great. This is nicer. And obviously I'm saving so much money, man. It's ridiculous. Like I lived in a 1-bedroom and I dealt with paying cable, internet, electricity, and gas all by myself. And now we don't have cable and I'm splitting all those other bills with my roommate. And the rent is less expensive than it was at my old place. And I'm also not paying it by myself. I'm literally saving like $1,000 a month, man. God, living by yourself is ridiculously overrated. I don't recommend it. It's fun for like 20 minutes. And it's also fun whenever you need to do just like weird stuff alone in your apartment. But it's lonely. It's really lonely living by yourself. And it's also spooky. I think ghosts are real, to be honest. But like the thing about when you have to do weird stuff, that's when it's nice living alone. Like sometimes, 2 people walked by. I need curtains so bad. Sometimes when I was living alone, I would do this thing where I would want to get a snack in the middle of the night. So I would get up out of bed and I would sort of like get into this pose. I feel like it has more effect if I'm far away. And I would be like, the goblin hungers. And I'd like scamper into my kitchen. Just eat something horrible. Like I remember one time when I was at the height of being really, really depressed around February of 2018, I just happened to have this can of condensed milk in my cabinet for a recipe that I never ended up making because I was too depressed to do it. And it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I remember it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I just found myself wrapped up in my comforter, eating spoonfuls of condensed milk, watching a real life lore video about the deepest holes in the ground humanity has ever dug. So that's a nice part about living alone, is you can do just absurd nonsense like that if your heart desires. And I guess I could do that here, but I would have to explain it. So it sort of negates the joy of being able to do it unquestioned. Also, I'm right across the hall from my laundry room. And oh man, dude, this is the most boring, mundane thing, but I'm 25. I'm old enough where stuff like this is very exciting to me. At my old apartment, I lived on the 3rd floor, right? Laundry's in the basement, as it often is in apartment buildings. I would have to walk down 4 flights of rickety ass, steep ass stairs with my huge laundry, and I would only do laundry every like 2 weeks, so my bag was always like somewhere in the ballpark of 45 pounds. And the laundry machine that was down there like was never clean, and it would always deposit like these, I don't know how else to describe this, like veins of dust, just debris from other people's loads on my clothes. I had to throw out a white sweater once because the machine ruined it. Now I'm right across the hall from these wonderful laundry machines that are clean and efficient and newer and work better. And the best part is the laundry machines in this building are connected to an app that connects to your phone with Bluetooth, and you can just pay from your phone. You don't need quarters. For people who don't live in like neo-colonialist states like Boston, this might be like, yeah, I mean, I've been using an app for laundry for as long as I can remember, for the whole time I've moved out. And also if you're in college, you know, you don't even know. Getting quarters to do laundry with has been one of the biggest, most annoying struggles of my adult life for the past 2 years when I've been living by myself. Color switch. I'm going to go into the shade This Is It, which looks like it's red, but it's actually like pink, red, magenta. It's also very dry. I should be talking about this palette. I like this palette. I think it's cute. This was sent to me for free by Tarte. Oh, I guess I maybe haven't explained the story of this palette and how I got it on this channel. I think I've explained it to Patreon, but not to y'all. So I'm sorry about that. Let me put in the color so I look a little bit less absurd, and then I'll explain it to you. Because it's a bit of a wild ride. I'm kind of surprised I have it. Super dry. It's like really, it's very firmly pressed and dry, this shade in particular. Reminds me of sugar pill shadows that I've tried. I know there are a lot of sugar pill stands out there, and I get it, I do, because I have Dolly Pop and it slaps, but I tried Flame Point and Butter Cupcake, which are the orange and yellow shades respectively. And they felt like sidewalk chalk, dude. I don't know how to describe it. It just like was no good for me. It's absolutely no good. Also, before I explain this, I am going to take the same brush I was using, what do you call it, girl? Ambitious on, and go into a ColourPop single. I'm going to use the shade Soft Core, this little angel baby right here. Arc this over everything. So this is a little bit less cool. There's a little edge of my primer here that didn't get Ambitious on it. So I wanna make sure it's not just like stark white on my brow bone. The story of the Let It Rainbow palette from Tarte. I am obviously a person with a weird relationship with Tarte Cosmetics. I have made fun of them many times on my channel, and then they DM'd me one day a couple months ago after I made a barber's sketch in a video in which I talked about the High Tides and Good Vibes palette, which I have right here. Let me actually get my phone so I can tell you about the DMs. This was months ago at this point. I feel like, did I already talk about this? I don't know if I gave you guys receipts. April 2nd, 2019, I get a text, message, DM, whatever, from Tarte saying, I've never been to Madagascar, but I thought your video was very funny. Really enjoy watching you. Maureen, Tarte's CEO. By the way, you're right, I should own a Tesla. Like that emoji. And I replied back, hi, wow, I did not expect you to ever watch those videos. I'm glad you can see the humor in them, which is true. Thank you for taking the time to message me. Tarte is one of my favorite brands, which was true. I do really like Tarte. I've historically quite liked Tarte. Did some of their launches bore me? Yeah. But I've talked for as long as I can remember on my channel that I love the lip products Tarte makes, and I also really like the Rainforest of the Sea line. That sounds like I said sea lion. I was taken aback by some of your launches because sometimes they don't always include products for people like me, so I tried to find the humor in that. If you ever want any product suggestions, let me know. Oh, she's an influencer, folks. Honestly, I'm showing you the DMs like you know that I'm not making this up. This did happen, and she did say this. Honestly, I thought it was hysterical. There's not enough humor in beauty these days. Yeah, we definitely screwed up the Shape Tape foundation launch pretty royally. Happy to be getting another chance with Face Tape. Hope you enjoy the goodies and happy to hear any feedback and suggestions you have, Maureen. Lauren, on our PR team, reached out for your address to send products. Which is true, she did. That's how I got this and the Lip Sip lip oils. And of course, who can forget dear Miss Bitch? We know her, we're aware. I appreciated it, I still do, I'm shocked. Because in the past week, I've seen some pretty questionable brand interactions between other influencers that makes me think like, do you guys just not want to make money ever? And then on May 21st, I decided that I needed to start a little bit of trouble. I saw that Tarte had been teasing they were going to be releasing something rainbow focused. And I was like, interesting. Of course, this is happening at the end of May. June is Pride Month. I was like, obviously this is going to be a Pride release. The alarm bells were in my head already because rainbow capitalism is something that I like to be aware of. I like to know when a brand is tugging on my heartstrings in order to make me buy a product. And then Beauty News leaked a picture of the palette about a half hour or so before, actually it was a couple of hours, before Tarte released their actual post announcing what the heck this was. I was like, if Tarte is going to release a rainbow palette in the month of June, I need to make sure that the proceeds of this palette or this launch in some capacity is actually going to benefit people that are members of my community. There's no purpose in releasing anything rainbow themed if it's not actually going to benefit the people that this represents, you know? So, little social justice harpy that I absolutely am, I emailed Lauren, who was the PR girl that I'd been talking to, and I got an out of office reply from her, and I was like, she knows I'm on vacation. Okay, I will DM Tarte again. So I DM'd Tarte again. I sent them the exact same question that I sent Lauren, and I said, hi Tarte, I saw a picture of, that's the voice I use when I talk to brands. I just saw a pic of the adorable Pride Month collaboration palette with Jessie Paege. I think the palette is so sweet. I was wondering if the proceeds of the collection are going to benefit any LGBTQ+ focused causes. I'd love to hear about it. Then, a little while later, I messaged them again saying that I just saw their post. That's so awesome that you'll be donating to the Trevor Project. But they are. Tarte's donating, I think it's $25,000 to the Trevor Project. I said that I was like definitely interested in picking it up. And okay. When I wrote that, there was a part of me that was like, oh, what if they offer to send this to me for free? Oh my God. That'd be so wild. I didn't ask them to send it to me for free because I think that's very tacky, but I thought that it might happen. And Tarte replied back, tag us in your look so we can see. And I was like, damn. All right, rejected. They are definitely not sending this to me, obviously. And then the next day I checked my email and Lauren was like, hey girly. And I was like, hey Lauren. And she was like, yeah, Tarte's donating some money. Also, we're gonna send you this palette. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, thanks, Lauren. So that's why I got it, and that's why I did that very, very sponsored sounding Instagram story talking about that. I don't really know how to like describe my relationship with Tarte now. I don't think it's responsible of me to like let my relationship with them change. Yeah, I've chatted with like 2 people who are, you know, working with the brand, and I have this PR from Tarte. Doesn't change the fact that Tarte is still a makeup brand that is still entirely liable to release things that I don't like, to do things that I find problematic, just like any other brand. But they're still a company, they're still a business, they still are an entity with the primary goal of making money. By accepting PR from them, I am sort of allowing myself to be used as a method by which they could make more money, and I have to be okay with that. If I'm going to accept PR from anybody, I have to be okay with that. But I also have to be okay with that and not let it cloud my judgment of products. And like, I have to still be upfront and be honest and be real, be 100 with you guys, knowing that it might jeopardize my relationship with the brand. I think it's really obvious when influencers prioritize a brand relationship above their relationship with their subscribers. Because I don't want to like watch my videos later on and see myself just like lying through my teeth about something and knowing that it was because I didn't want to disappoint Maureen and Lauren and all the Barbaras. Like, that's ridiculous and irresponsible and embarrassing. So what are my thoughts about the Little Rainbow palette? Well, I'm not done using it for right now. I'm obviously not done with my makeup look. For some reason, this red shade is really weird. It is like a pinkish magenta, like I had said. Let me see if I can like give you a little bit of ASMR. It sounds different when you're swatching it. So I'm gonna swatch the shade next to it, the orange shade All In, and then I'm gonna swatch the red shade. And if they sound different, let me know. That was All In. This is it. This is it sounded scratchier and drier, and like I had to put in more work to get a pigmented swatch. And do you see? The pigmentation on the orange is a lot more consistent than it is on the red. Like, it's not very patchy on the eyes, but you sort of have to use your brush to scrape up a little bit, almost like once you've got that scraped up layer, you have to use it almost like a pressed pigment or a loose pigment. It's literal opposite, Nisa. I really love the orange. I didn't expect to love the orange. The yellow is fine. Yellows are so hard to get right. To date, I have not tried a matte yellow eyeshadow that is as good as 19 from Kiko, which you can still get. I was incorrect in my last video where I said that you can't get this anymore. You can. I know that, I think I heard that Kiko US folded, but I think that just means they don't have physical stores anymore, because it seems like you can still order from their website just fine. I love Kiko. I use them a lot when I lived in Italy. Great brand. I like almost everything I've tried from them except their liquid makeup remover. I hate that. I'm gonna put on some blue eyeshadow. I'm gonna use Hustle over here. I'm gonna put that on my lid a little bit, just a little. I almost want a sort of like tie-dye thing going on, so I'm not super focused on this being placed perfectly. I just want it to be blended into the purple well. nice things about this is that these colors do blend really nicely. Like I have a perfect purple now, and I didn't apply a purple eyeshadow. I applied Ambitious, which is a pink magenta, and This Is It, which is a reddish magenta. And now I have this like perfect Concord grape color. So that's fun. I might keep things matte. It's a little messy, but I actually kind of like that. It's a little rougher on the edges, just like me. Did I do shimmers on the lower lash line? Is that even allowed? Ooh. I'm gonna use the Shimmering Aqua Blue Happening in the inner bit of my lower lash line. And then I'm gonna use the Shimmering Purple Risk Taker on the louder part of my lower lash line. It's tough when you make the kind of videos that I do. Your opinion on things, on brands specifically, really matters. And so when you happen to change your mind on things, it can definitely seem like a bigger hassle than just never talking about the thing you've changed your mind on ever again. Because whether it's admitting you were wrong about something, or that you've just had a change of heart, or just stopped caring about something you used to care about, it's scary, you know? Like when I first got sent, or was going to get sent this PR from Tarte, I was like, oh my God, everybody's gonna think I'm such a goddamn sellout if I accept this PR. What am I gonna do? Should I just roast all of it? There were people, I know, I don't read Reddit comments or threads about myself anymore, but back before I made that rule, I saw that when I posted a picture of the PR I got from Tarte, someone made a comment that was like, oh, they sent her icy bitch. She's gonna tear them apart. And I was reading it just like, actually, I kind of liked it. It's tough, it's complicated. Just basically, yeah, like talking about changing my mind. Basically, I'm just leading up to say that I'm no longer critical of Jeffree Star, and I actually have just purchased the entire summer Jawbreaker collection, and I'm gonna be reviewing it next week. How are ya? You know? So the eyeshadow is functionally done. I wanna put on an inner corner highlight, and I'd also wanna do some eyeliner. I've been sort of changing the way that I approach eyeshadow. Basically, I'm just trying to push myself out of my comfort zone when I do my eyeshadow now, because I feel like I'm not very good at it, but I wanna get better at it. And it's really easy to just tell myself like, oh, I don't have the exact same products that Rocio Cervantes has, and that's why she's so much better. And it's like, no, she practices more than you do, girly. Like, it's not a matter of having products. Sometimes it is, but most of the time it's like you just need to commit to it and you'll learn, and you also need to like swallow your pride and watch tutorials. They don't want to do the same thing I always do. So I'm gonna do the same thing I always do and put on eyeliner. This is, oh, I forget what this is actually called, but it's from CoverGirl and it's in a very unique tube, so it's probably quite easy to find at your local farmacia. I've been watching so many goddamn TikTok compilations. Not the cringe ones, because I still think those are kind of mean. I've been watching like the meme, M-E-M-E ones. Dude, I swear to God, Gen Z kids are so funny. I'm like howling at the end of these, I swear. I've been watching the clown check ones where they're like, hey yo, clown check, and they do clown makeup. But those were a little strange because the song that's used in them is an ICP song. I wonder how many teenagers who've never heard of Insane Clown Posse in their life are watching these clown check TikToks and they're like, I'm Violent J and I'm back like a vertebrae? What's that from? And then they just become juggalos. It's a thought, you know? Like, what a weird outlet to introduce people to Insane Clown Posse. These kids are so funny and so talented, man. They're gonna save the world. I feel like TikTok has entered a lot of different phases in its like short time being the it video app of the day. Because when it started, you had like the cringy people on there. Well, I mean, back when it was Musical.ly, it was obviously very different. Like you had the cringe era where that was most of the people using TikTok, and I'm using the word cringe relatively. I don't think a lot of what people call cringe is actually cringe. When it's like grown adults duetting with teenagers and making weird sexy faces at them and being really creepy and predatory, that's cringe, that's scary. When it's just sort of like teens who maybe are not like the standard of beauty just existing, I don't think that's cringe. That's the delineation for me. Then you had the reacting to cringe era, where you had basically just a lot of edgelord gamer boys who were just like duet with these TikToks and like do a Fortnite dance next to it, or say something transphobic, or like ask for an N-word pass, you know, humor. And now other teenagers who aren't like edgelord gamer boys have joined the platform and are just doing like funny stuff. Like watching a TikTok compilation with 1 million views now versus doing the same thing like 4 months ago is a really different experience. I'm so curious to watch what happens with TikTok. It's very interesting. I don't actually ever watch TikToks in the app itself. I only watch YouTube compilations. Also, weird perk of watching TikToks is they've introduced me to a lot of fun music. Like I didn't know who Joji was until I started watching TikToks. I didn't know that he was Filthy Frank for a while. That was kind of jarring. I like his music though, I gotta say. He makes fun, sad goddamn music, man. And I feel massively too old to listen to him. A good song is a good song. Time to nitpick. Ayo, perfectionist check. I think that might be the best I can do. I'm gonna put on my mascara and I'll be right back. It's me, I've returned. I put on some mascara. Let me tell you what I put on. My base coat, because I am on the level of mascara nonsense where I have coat levels. My base coat was with the ColourPop BFF mascara. This thing is running a little bit dry. I gotta get rid of it. I know ColourPop is doing a mascara, or not a mascara, but a BFF collection sale right now, and I'm not going to let them get me, okay? It's not happening. Second coat, CoverGirl Exhibitionist Mascara. Third coat, Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I don't like this mascara on its own, but it is nice at giving everything a final lift when you're done. I also paused to put on some lipped gloss. This one is the Buxom, I think this is the full-on lip cream, right? The sparkly ones are the full-on? Yes. The full-on plumping lip polish in the shade Brandi. This is one of my absolute favorite lip glosses, and as a result, I never wear it because I want to have it for the rest of my life. The next step was putting on an inner corner highlight. As I said before, I taped together my Tarte Let It Rainbow palette and my Tarte Remix Natural palette. We're going to leave the Let It Rainbow and move on to her twin sister, this baby. We're going to use this ice blue right up here as our inner corner highlight. This is this palette's version of All In. That's the eyes. Great. What do we want to do for cheeks, children? I think we should do something subtle so the focus can stay on the eyes. I'm gonna take my Wet n Wild P70 blush brush. I'm gonna go into my Morphe 9B palette, which was a gift from Hannah Louise Poston. And I think I'm going to go with this little mauve moment right down here. Mauve mint, if you will. Slap that right on my cheekbone. To sort of sculpt the face without actually contouring. I used to do this with like plum colored blushes all the time. I had that e.l.f. dark blush quad, and I used to literally contour with the darkest shade in it. And I just sort of looked like I was an Oliver Twist all the time. I think it looked kind of nice, actually. And then I might do something lighter, because this is a pigmented and dark blush. Yeah, I'm gonna do something a little bit lighter for the actual apples of my cheeks. So for that, I'm going to move over to this shade in the palette, which is a little bit more subtle, just a light tap. This is such a dense brush. It's a lot like applying your blush with a sponge. It's still a little bit of a heavy blush, but I think it's kind of cute. I love a good flush, you know, just like, oh, I'm so embarrassed. Highlighter is an entirely different ball game. I don't think we talked about this on this channel. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in the shade Rose Gold. I did it. I finally bought it. I had a gift card, so this was basically free. This just goes to show that sometimes when you really wanted something for a super long time, you should just go with your gut and get it. I had the option of either buying this with my gift card or waiting for one of the Cover FX matte and shimmer blush duos that everyone, including myself, was raving about a little while back when they came back in stock on Sephora. And I chose to not wait and to just get this because I've wanted this for years. with that, let's do a little bit of a spritzing tint. This is the Milani Make It Last Mattifying Setting Spray. That's my look. Before I end things, I do want to give you guys a little bit of insight into how my makeup organization has changed after a week of being in this new place. This is not the final location or organization of anything, but I would like to show you what I have done while being here. And actually, it's been pretty frickin' efficient, if I do say so myself. So let's talk you through the organization right now. So I have these two identical nightstands that I just found on Amazon. They're complete knockoffs of Alex drawers. And I had them at the old place too. You might recognize them. But I have two of them, and this one, that one's over by my bed as a nightstand. Everything's messy, don't at me. This one is sort of like floating betwixt my bed and my desk. By the way, I bought marble contact paper for my desk. It's a whole thing. People roasted it. They were correct in roasting it. So we have my acrylic organizer where I keep my brushes. Over here we have liquid eyeshadows, eyeshadow sticks, and some brow products. Here we keep mascaras, brushes like I said, and then here we have my different sprays and also my nighttime moisturizer. Here we have my daytime moisturizer and my little fan I use to dry my face. We have miscellaneous skinned care over here. All of my lip products are here. Beautiful little angels that they are. Love them very dearly. Up here is what needs the most work. This is all of my like daily cheek blush everybody collection. I had this in like a cardboard organizer that sort of fell apart right around the time I was moving. So I need to either buy one or make another one. I'll probably make another one. I definitely have the cardboard for it, but I set everything out in like a single layer so I could see all of it as much as I could in this top drawer. Over here under my desk on this little lip in my wall, I keep the cotton pads I got from Cruelty Free Stitchery. These are reusable cotton pads. I'll link her store in the description. She's very nice. And I have in this little lunchbox the things I use cotton pads for my face. So here we have my daytime toner, my nighttime toner, and then my makeup remover is supposed to be in there, but it's not. I don't know who authorized her to leave. This is the real tea. These are all of my eyeshadow palettes. They're sort of arranged like my books are. My books are over there, along with my DVDs. That's great. Anyway, I arranged them like this, and it's actually been really conducive to using eyeshadow every day because I can just reach over, grab a palette, and there we go. And then when I'm done with it, I can just slide it back into place. So I've actually been wearing eyeshadow every day when I go to work, and I love that. So yeah, next up we have my jewelry box and this lovely little pouch my friend got me where I keep all of my like daily jewelry so I don't have to go digging in my jewelry box for it. I have this little cat-shaped organizer where I keep my rings and bracelets, my desk lamp, and then here, you might be wondering what that is. This is the little satchel of product that comes in the Fenty Mini Fairy Balm. I bought it and then cut it open like Beauty News did, and I'm gonna make a Franken product out of it because it's this pretty like nice shimmering purple, and I thought it might be fun to experiment with. So here we are, first video in the new spot. The new joint, though. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm enjoying living here, to be sure. I really am excited to take this room in a different direction and just completely revamp how I do things here on this channel, youtube.edu.co.uk/NisiPisa. Before you leave, I'm gonna need you to do a quick favor for me. If you could go ahead and have an amazing day for me, that would be absolutely freaking vertiginous of you. Thank you so much. If you would like to interact with me betwixt uploads, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at NisiPisa. I have a second channel called Extra NisiPisa where I post music and covers, and I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/NisiPisa, where I post a weekly 40-minute stream of consciousness video and extras for my videos when I make extras videos. I don't always have extras for videos, to be honest. I also have a Discord server that is accessible through my Patreon. That is very fun, and I really like all the people in the Discord and all the people who are subscribed to me in general or who have watched my videos. You guys are all absolutely freaking rad. Thanks again for watching. Bye.